This is the Agile Manifesto, part 2 of 5.
I stole this part and I put the word project in it. So if you Google Agile Manifesto, there were some people, I think, in the late 90s who got together and developed the Agile methodology, and they made this manifesto that's just really inspiring, and I took bits of it to share with you today. First thing is, we are uncovering better ways of creating deliverables by doing it and helping others do it. So the idea that this process is defined and perfect, they threw that away. They're like, this is not perfect. This has to be adapted for every single instance that anyone's going to use it. And today is just another kind of step on that path. So here's what's worked for me. Now you take it and go and try and have successes of your own. The next things, and I'll give some examples of this. Through this work, we've come to value individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So I'm not sure how much you feel like interacting, but if you do, does anyone have an example where a process or tool has slowed you down from an interaction that could have been done faster? Maybe you can all just think in your head of something. Or for those of you who came in late and didn't get to do the mind jolt, you're stuck. So we value talking to one another versus sending a work. Yes, exactly. Text messages is a great example. Or email, just like, hey, can I do this? Is that okay? Rather than submitting the workflow and waiting 3 months for the approval. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Is anyone in the room a trainer? Yeah? Great. So if the software is designed correctly so that someone can walk up to it and just start using it, it's probably a lot easier if you do the training, right? Because you can say, just try it. See if you can do it. So if your working software has already been, I guess, reviewed and the input's been collected from the people who are actually going to use it throughout the cycle, they don't need as much training, and they don't need pages and pages of documentation, papers taped up in their cubes showing them how to do certain things. And customer collaboration over contract negotiation. This is a huge deal for me. To say, rather than when you get into kind of an agile way of working, you're working together with the customer to achieve an end goal, rather than the customer or your users or your product managers, program managers, standing on one side, sending you Excel sheets with nice to have, this would be great, this is highly required, and this is mandatory. Rather than having you try and do that negotiation around this Excel sheet and marking them red and yellow, and these are never things we can deliver, and having to push back and forth. When you get into an iterative or agile way of working, you're working together with them. You're saying, okay, great, we recognize that we missed that part of understanding our last iteration, so now we're going to include it in our next one, and you're going to see it in 3 weeks. And responding to change over following a plan. So with this style of working upsets people who have traditional project management skills, because there's no Gantt chart. You can't say who's critical path at any given time. It's a lot looser, but it is a lot more rapid and a lot more literally agile to work. And the bottom part, the disclaimer part, is while there's value in the items on the right, we value items on the left more. So don't throw out all processes. Don't throw out all documentation, but try and value the things over here. There's actually, if you Google Agile Manifesto, you'll get a lot more bullets around this, and they're principles. Anyway, I work with some Germans, and they say that I'm a bit too gushy, so I'll try and push that down. Sorry, I'm really enthusiastic about this.
Next up, Agile Project Principles.